Welcome to this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. This meeting is held in the Jackson County Courthouse Auditorium at 10 South Oakdale in Medford. This meeting is held every Wednesday morning at 9:30, as long as a quorum of 2 commissioners is available to conduct the business of Jackson County. Your Jackson County Commissioners broadcast this meeting over Rogue Valley Television, and it's available for streaming and review at jacksoncountyor.gov. Under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming. The types of business that occur at this meeting include public hearings, official voting on actions by the Board of Commissioners, presentations by departments of the county, and recognition of service that makes our county great. Agendas of the meetings are posted on the Commissioners' Bulletin Board and released on the county's website and through local media in the time required for public notice. Many of the conclusions on the business presented to the Board of Commissioners have been discussed in detail and prepared by the administrative office and staff prior to consideration at this meeting and the official vote. These prior discussions also have been properly noticed and the work done in a transparent manner. We encourage you to come and experience the process by attending any of these meetings or watch online at jacksoncountyor.gov. And now, your Jackson County Commissioners, Rick Dyer, Colleen Roberts, and Randy Sparacino, working for you.
So I'll call to order the Board of Commissioners regular meeting at 9:30, and it's our regular meeting for October 22nd, 2025. We're in the Courthouse Auditorium and also on Zoom, and we'll begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you stand and join us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll start with the request for and discussion of non-agenda items, a 5-minute limit pursuant to the codified ordinances of Jackson County, Section 213.06. Members of the public may address any item not on the agenda. However, pursuant to ORS 192.640, the Board of Commissioners is prohibited from discussing a principal subject that's not on the agenda. Therefore, the Board of Commissioners will listen to your concerns and may consider the matter you raise by asking staff to follow up on any questions or by placing the matter on an agenda for discussion at a future meeting. And we have a sign-up sheet in-house, and we'll start there. Brad Bennington's here. Come on up and give your name and address for the record.
Commissioners, good morning. Brad Bennington, 2886 Orchard Home Drive in beautiful Medford, Oregon. So listening to the Bill Myers show this morning, and he had Congressman Cliff Bentz on and covering various subjects of importance. And one of the most important things that the Congressman mentioned is, and this is my interpretation, he didn't exactly say this, but this is what I heard. No matter how bad you think the energy situation is in Oregon, it's worse. And it's especially impactful here in Southern Oregon. Back in the day, we had abundant hydropower. Hydropower, of course, the most efficient, most cost-effective power that we have. My mom actually grew up on the property that Copco bought from my grandfather to build the Iron Gate Dam. When my mom was born in 1925, the dam came online in 1964 when she was, I think, 39 years old. So she remembers, fishing in the Klamath River, pre-dam and whatnot, and she saw what things were like before the dam. She saw what the benefits were, after they built the dam, the hydropower, being able to adjust the temperature of the water, and all those things. And the reason it matters all over Oregon, but I think it matters even more here in Southern Oregon, matters to the county, is that what we're seeing is that there's a concerted effort on the behalf of certain well-funded organizations using legal means to take away resources that benefit the community as a whole. We know that the use and the demand for electricity is going up, not down. We know that there are these huge data centers going in. We know that solar panels have limited ability to respond to be baseload power. Baseload power is really it's the main thing, because you can't run a mill on part-time power, you can't run a school on part-time power, you can't run a shopping center on part-time power. You got and especially for these huge data centers and these things, the kind of businesses that Jackson County is trying to attract here in our area, you need full-time power for those things. The seriousness of this cannot be overstated, according to what Congressman Bent said. Now, I know that this is a forward-looking county. In my opinion, this is the best managed county in the state. If it were just Jackson County, probably wouldn't worry about it too much. But these rolling blackouts, which is what the congressman mentioned is going to happen, is these rolling blackouts are going to affect the entire state. They're going to affect even here in well-managed Jackson County. They're going to have an impact. So this is just me saying, once again, grateful for the exceptional management that we enjoy here in Jackson County. But even here in well-managed Jackson County, according to what Congressman Bent said this morning, we're going to be experiencing some imminent negative impacts from the power shortage that have been created by policy here in Oregon. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the auditorium wish to speak? Or anybody online can raise their Zoom hand and you'll be brought in to the meeting.
Madam Chair, no one has their Zoom hand raised to speak.
Okay, thanks. And nobody else has come forward, so we will move on to the consent calendar. We have minutes of meetings for the Board of Commissioners work session, September 30th, 2025, the Board of Commissioners regular meeting, October 1st, 2025, the Board of Commissioners staff meeting for October 2nd, 2025. We have an order appointing Robert Bartolini to the Property Values Appeal Board Pool, order number 218-25, and an order reappointing Larry Frank, Frank Mania, and Drennan Carlisle to the Property Value Appeals Board Pool as well. It's order number 219-25.
And I will move to approve the consent calendar as read.
Second.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. We do have a public hearing, an order adopting a supplemental budget number 1 for fiscal year 2025-2026. It's order number 220-25. Mr. Jordan.
This is a long one. Wait, hold on. What order did you read that it was?
220-25.
Okay. You'll have to bear with me as I go through it.
Sure. We want to hear it.
Okay. As previously, in accordance with the Oregon Revised Statute 294-473, sub 1, sub B, notice for the supplemental budget was published in the Rogue Valley Times on Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. This is the first supplemental budget for fiscal year 25-26. Supplemental budget for fiscal year 25-26 will increase appropriation authority in capital projects, central services, general road, health and human services, motor pool, and technology replacement funds. In the capital projects fund, funding from the Roads and Parks Department, an amount of $31,902 will be used for the new door access controls for what is deemed Building 915, located in the Roads and Parks Complex on Antelope Road. The result of this adjustment will increase the operating expenses category in the overall capital projects fund by $31,902 from $5,437,994 to $5,469,896. And the Central Services Fund Facility Maintenance Program in the County Administration Department has various B7 projects. That's just budget form 7 related to capital improvements that include renovations to that Building 915 I mentioned from the Road Fund in the amount of $170,000. This project was meant to allow for consolidation of the roads and park staff. It's being paid from the General Road Fund, and it's also helping to replace antiquated lighting control panels at our Medford Library in the amount of $42,560. That comes from the Jackson County Library District, and various other projects in the amount of $36,290. The result of these adjustments will increase both the operating expense category and the overall county administration department budget by $248,850 from $8,870,015 to $9,118,865. The total net effect of this adjustment will increase the Central Services Fund appropriations by that same amount, $248,850, from $23,564,073 to $23,812,923. Whew. almost one page through. In the Community Justice Department, in the general fund, the Community Justice Department's receiving opioid funding in the amount of $405,726. This is coming from the Health and Human Services Fund. This is to provide jail diversion services for adults that are in custody, identifying individual needs and creating a release plan for addressing those needs, for the transition center support, for health treatment, peer support, job readiness, and housing support, for receiving transitional funding in the amount of $11,842 from the Oregon State Department of Corrections for short-term transitional leave clients to help pay for adults on supervision who are less than 6 months out of prison and are transitioning back into the community. Also receiving Measure 57 funds in the amount of $15,653 that will help pay for the supervision and treatment of medium to high-risk adults on supervision who have been convicted of certain drug and property crimes. Also receiving Family Sentencing Alternative Program funds in the amount of $149,031 from the state. They'll be used for jail diversion for eligible parents convicted of non-violent felony crimes from going to prison and instead enrolling in the county's community-based Family Sentencing Alternative Program that is designed to keep families intact and prevent children from entering foster care system. Receiving criminal fines funds in the amount of $8,348 from the state. This is to help pay for alcohol and drug screening in adult and parole and probation. The result of these adjustments will increase both the operating expense category and the overall Community Justice Department budget by $590,600 from $27,939,052 to $28,529,652. The Development Services Department's receiving a Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities, or BRIC grant, in the amount of $99,000 to be used for a subject matter expert to review, improve, and/or update zoning and building codes for natural hazard resiliency. The result of this adjustment will increase both the operating expense category and the overall Development Services Department budget by $99,000 from $6,720,952 to $6,819,952. Total net effect of these adjustments will increase the general fund appropriations by $689,600 from $174,363,117 to $175,052,717. The general road fund, non-dedicated fund balance funds in the amount of $498,000 will be used for renovations to Building 915. This will allow, as previously mentioned in other funds, the consolidation of roads and park staff in the amount of $136,000, and for capital equipment in the amount of $362,000. That includes a broom pickup, 2 utility bodies, and a 24-inch planer attached, which were all purchased last fiscal year but received this fiscal year. The result of these adjustments will increase the operating expenses category by $498,000 from $30,892,555 to $31,390,555. The total net effect of these adjustments will increase the general road fund appropriations by that same amount of $498,000 from $34,892,555 to $35,390,555. In the Health and Human Services Fund, the Health and Human Services Department will decrease the operating expense category and increase the transfer category by $630,726. This is to provide $255,000 to the Sheriff's Department. This is for medication-assisted treatment services in the jail, and to provide $405,726 to the Community Justice Department for jail diversion services for adults in custody in order to identify individual needs and create release plans to address those needs, and to provide support for health treatment, peer support, job readiness, and housing for adults on supervision at the transition center. The Developmental Disabilities Program is receiving an additional $538,054 for case management from the Oregon Department of Human Services for 9 new full-time equivalent positions to support an unmanageable caseload. The Environmental Public Health Program is receiving a groundwater grant in the amount of $174,403. The Mental Health Program will not be receiving what we expected to be a grant from Jackson Care Connect in the amount of $15,000. They are receiving funds from House Bill 5202 as a behavioral health grant in the amount of $3,455,054. They are receiving some opioid settlement funds in the amount of $2 million, which will be set aside for a crisis stabilization center. And they're receiving a workforce stabilization grant in the amount of $677,724. And also the Veteran Services Program is receiving a lower grant than originally budgeted, being reduced by $950 as opposed to what we anticipated from the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs. I do just want to point out real quickly that typically we don't reduce appropriations when we do supplemental budgets, was basically what your last question was, Commissioner Roberts. We do have a new budget person in Health and Human Services that requested to do that, and in the case of the Veteran Services, our budget has to match the formula for the grant we receive by the state. So in that case, we do have to reduce it. But typically, I wouldn't be bringing you supplemental budgets with these small reductions. And the reason why is budget law requires us not to overexpend our appropriation. We're allowed to underspend it. So if we weren't going to get the money, we just wouldn't spend the money. We don't have to typically include it in a supplemental budget. We can include it, but it's a lot of additional bookkeeping. Back to the explanation here, the result of these adjustments will increase the transfer category by $630,726 from $4,767,994 to $5,398,720. It'll also increase the operating expenses category by $6,198,558 from original amount of $46,310,321 to $52,508,879. The total net effect of these adjustments will increase the Health and Human Services Fund appropriations by $6,829,284 from $58,078,315 to $64,907,599. In the motor pool fund, non-dedicated fund balance in the amount of $281,000 will be used for capital equipment purchased last fiscal year, but yet again received this fiscal year. That includes a Chevy Tahoe and multiple upfittings for sheriff's vehicles. The result of this adjustment will increase operating expenses category by $281,000 from $3,930,066 to $4,211,066. And the total net effect of this adjustment will increase the motor pool fund appropriations by that same amount of $281,000 from $4,643,038 to $4,924,038. In the technology replacement fund, we'll have a transfer from unappropriated ending fund balance and reserves in the amount of $1,480,000. This is going to be used to fund a new phone system that includes new software, hardware, and first-year subscription, as well as the recently implemented Microsoft 365 software. This adjustment will increase both the operating expenses category and the technology replacement fund appropriations by $1,480,000 from $520,036 to $2,036. I'm just about done, Madam Chair. No, you can't hardly wait. In this case, it is recommended that the public hearing now be held. Following the public hearing, should the Board of Commissioners concur with Supplemental Budget 1 for fiscal year 25-26, approval of that order will implement that action. Thank you.
Great, thank you for the detail. Do we need rules today?
Now there will be no more anarchy.
Okay, I'm glad.
Don't count on it.
That's-
Here are the rules for the conduct of the public hearing as follows. Only the chairperson or a member of the Board of County Commissioners may question the speaker. There'll be no interruptions of a speaker from the audience, no debates on the floor. Applause is not permitted. The speaker may criticize the proposal of the board or agency of the county, but the speaker shall not argue with another speaker directly. Any speaker may present an opposite view, but not in personal terms. A person wishing to speak shall sign in or be recognized, or shall raise his or her Zoom hand, or otherwise be recognized by the chairperson conducting the hearing. Only after being recognized, the speaker shall then state his or her name and address. Before proceeding with his or her comment, the chairperson may limit the duration of any presentation to time necessary to couple factual information. Repetition by the speaker shall be avoided. Whoever violates any such rule shall first be warned by the chairperson to desist from such violation. In the event that such person does not so desist, he or she may be ordered by the chairperson to leave the hearing. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So we've had the details of what's in our supplemental budget number 1, and the rules. I'll open the public hearing on this matter. If anybody would like to speak to it, or that's here in the auditorium, nobody has signed up, or if you're online, you can raise your Zoom hand. Either way, you have an opportunity to talk about the supplemental budget.
Madam Chair, I also do not have anyone signed up on Zoom.
Okay. Well, we're not hearing from anybody, so we will close the public hearing and take a motion for our discussion then.
And I will move approval of order number 220-25.
Second.
In our discussion, anybody have anything to say?
Just again, another example of the bookkeeping, the accounting functions that take place here that keep us on track and in the position we're in.
And the Triple Crown Award.
That's right.
That will take a vote.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Thank you. We'll move on to our discussion deliberation items. First one's an order authorizing a Jackson County Services contract with Community Works Incorporated. It's order number 221-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, in this case, as you said, Community Works Incorporated intends to provide what's called lethality assessment program services. This is for victims of domestic violence. The lethality assessment program is coordinated as an effort between local law enforcement agencies and Community Works to provide lethality assessments to identify victims of domestic violence and immediately connect them with domestic violence services. Funding for the programs provided by the Justice Reinvestment Grant. This comes through the state of Oregon by and through its Criminal Justice Commission. Community Works Incorporated provides the program pursuant to a 2-year contract. The last contract expired June 8th of 2025. Term of this contract would be July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2027. It does require ratification to become effective July 1st of 2025, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you. I'll take a motion.
Move approval of order number 221-25.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
This is a very important program. It prevents future victimization, so I think it's very important that we fund this program.
Okay.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Next item is an order authorizing the Finance Department to make advance payments to taxing districts with $50,000 or less in value from the County General Fund, and it's order number 222-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you. In this case, Oregon Revised Statute 311.392 allows for advance payments to taxing districts from the County General Fund if it's more economical to do so than to make distributions from the unsegregated tax collection account. Advance payments, or AKA buyouts, are usually processed for districts that have just small amounts of taxes. The distribution amounts for these districts are sometimes less than $50 per turnover, which makes them very expensive for the county to process. If an advance payment is made to a district before December 1st of 2025, the 3% discount given if the taxes were paid by November 15th, 2025 may be deducted from the advance. Once the advance payment's made, the percentage distribution schedule will be adjusted to remove that district that has been bought out, and the county's percentage will be adjusted, reimbursing the county for the money advance. A district receiving the advance payment will no longer receive distributions of the current tax year from the unsegregated tax collection account. For our fiscal year 25-26 tax year, there's only one district under this value. It's 701 Nye Ditch Users Improvement District, and their tax is $6,287. And I do recommend your approval.
Thank you. We'll take a motion.
I will move approval of order number 222-25.
Second.
And I will just say, I think our Finance Director, Shannon Bell, and that department does a fabulous job taking care of our taxing districts for them on behalf of the county.
You know, I guess because we've generally had more than just this one. No, is it the one we?
No, it's only been this one. I can't remember any time we've had any other one.
Huh, okay, well.
We do essentially dismiss taxes that are uncollectible that are under
Right.
this amount, but this is actually buying
Right,
the
they're
future
just-
payments of tax that cost us more to collect and turn over than it would to just do it one time. And also, as I said, we take the 3% advance payment out up front, so we realize that gain immediately.
And it probably really streamlines for the other end as well, getting the one lump ahead of time, I would think. It'd help that little district, but,
Can't hurt.
yeah.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Our next item is order authorizing a Jackson County Services contract with Elderly and Disabled Services, order number 223-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, as you've discussed previously, Elderly and Disabled Services assist individuals facing mental illness to help them obtain housing and treatment resources. In this case, Elderly and Disabled Services provided these services pursuant to an agreement that did expire on June 30th of 2025. The term of this contract would be July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026. Obviously, it would become to become effective July 1st, 2025, need to ratified to that date. It's an expense of $120,000, and it is budgeted, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you. Take a motion?
Move approval of order number 223-25.
And I'll second.
There's no any discussion or?
Another important program that really helps a vulnerable population in Jackson County, and I'm glad that we're supporting it.
Also, probably worth mentioning, this is not the entire budget for Elderly and Disabled Services. That's just the company we're contracting with. Happens to be their name.
And I learned that in our discussion.
Yeah.
It's not just a category, it's the name of the business, so that was interesting. Yeah, let's take a vote.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Next item is an order authorizing a purchase order under Sourcewell contract with Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated, order number 224-25. Mr. Jordan.
Madam Chair, members of the board, in this case, Jackson County, through the fleet management under our Roads and Parks Department, has been leasing vehicles through Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated. We've done this for several years. It's been fairly successful, and we found the overall cost of vehicle ownership for the county are reduced, and expenditures for procurement, maintenance, and repairs and disposal are decreased. County would like to continue utilizing the leasing options provided by the Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated through the Sourcewell contract number 030122-EFM. Notice of this procurement was published in the October 1st, 2025 edition of the Rogue Valley Times, and we did not receive any comments. The purchase order would be utilized through April 16th of 2026. Individual leases are authorized by the department director who specify the equipment, lease term, and payment terms. All the lease terms and payment obligations incurred prior to April 16, 2026 would survive the expiration of the Sourcewell contract. Estimated expense of $427,000, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you. I'll take a motion.
I will move approval of order number 224-25.
Second.
Any discussion on this one?
Need vehicles.
Yeah. Let's take a vote.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. Our final item is an order authorizing an intergovernmental agreement number 250-2527 Jackson, JACKSON-000 between the state of Oregon by and through its Oregon State Marine Board and Jackson County. It's order number 225-25. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, Madam Chair, members of the board, I'm sure the board's aware this is a contract that we've had long-standing between the state of Oregon by and through its Oregon State Marine Board in Jackson County. Provides funding for marine patrol services in county waterways. Term of the agreement is July 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2027. It does require ratification to become effective July 1st, 2025. It's a revenue of $451,606. The county does make a match in operations and maintenance costs in the amount of $191,912, and I do recommend your approval.
Thank you.
Move approval of order number 225-25.
And I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I think they do a great job.
They do.
Commissioner Sparacino?
Yes.
Commissioner Dyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Roberts?
Yes. And that does conclude our agenda today, so the meeting is adjourned.
We hope that you've enjoyed this week's Jackson County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you have any questions on any part of the show, please feel free to contact your Jackson County Commissioners or staff. You can find their contact information at jacksoncountyor.gov. To review the content of this or any other meeting, under the Government tab, under Recorded Meetings, click on RVTV Live Streaming.